here's another incredibly interesting plant, the Jack-in-the-pulpit. This is the Jack-in-the-pulpit. It is found from Manitoba to Nova Scotia in Canada, and then down all through that range into Texas as well, and even some places in Florida. And there's just a lot of really, really interesting things about this plant. To start off, this is not a flower. This thing up here is called the spadix, also known as the jack, and this whole contraption surrounding it is a specialized leaf called a spathe, also known as the pulpit, hence the name Jack-in-the-pulpit. Now, what's interesting about this plant is the sex of the flowers change depending on how large the plant is. When it's quite a small plant, all of the flowers are male, and as it grows, it develops into having kind of female and male flowers, and then when it's quite large, all of the flowers are produced as females. The flowers of the Jack-in-the-pulpit are contained at the bottom of the spathe, kind of surrounding the base of the spadix. So in order to enter, pollinators, specifically a type of gnat, have to enter the top of the spathe and go all the way down into the bottom to pollinate. These pollinators are attracted by the scent of the flower. They go in, they pollinate it, and sometimes they leave. The sometimes is due to the fact that the male flowers have an exit hole at the bottom that the gnats can just crawl on out of to go on their merry way. However, the female Jack-in-the-pulpit does not have an exit hole. So when the gnats enter the spathe of the female flower, again attracted by the scent, they cannot get out again, and they die in there and provide nutrients to the female plant. Another interesting feature of the Jack-in-the-pulpit is how the fruits or berries grow. After the Jack-in-the-pulpit is done flowering, it produces all of these fruits around the spadix, which eventually mature into this very interesting bright red color, and then fall off to grow new plants. This plant is also interesting because it is, when consumed raw, toxic. It has certain crystals in it, calcium oxalate as well as oxalic acid, which are toxic and can produce a burning, very unpleasant sensation in the mouth when consumed. It can also cause swelling of the mouth and throat, which, if severe enough, can affect breathing, however, is not usually fatal. However, if cooked, the roots of the Jack-in-the-pulpit are in fact edible. It can be eaten just cooked like a potato, it can be eaten dried and sliced kind of as a chip, or ground into a flour. It's been used by many indigenous groups in North America as a food source, and reportedly the calcium oxalate causes a kind of peppery, spicy flavor, which makes it a good flavor instead of, like when raw, a painful burning sensation.